अवसरेषु नित्यं भागवत सेवया भगवती उत्तमश्लोके भक्ति भवति नैष्टिकी. Reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18 and Text 23. Aham hi prustaha aryamanaha bhavadbihi achaksha atma avagamaha atra yavan navaha patanti atmasamam patatrinaha tatha samam vishnugatim vipaschitaha aham hi prustorya-mano bhavadbhi achaksha atma-vagamotra yavan nabha patanti atmasamam patatrina tata samam vishnugatim vipaschitaha aham hi prustorya-mano bhavadbhi achaksha atma-vagamotra yavan nabha patanti atmasamam patatrina tata samam vishnugatim vipaschitaha. Aham prustorya namo
aham hi prustorya-mano bhavadbhi
achaksha atma
patanti atmasamam
patatrina
tatha sam vishnugatim vipaschita.
Aham, my humble self, he certainly prustaha, asked by you, aryamanaha, as powerful as the sun, bhavadbihi, by you, achakshe, may describe, atma avagamaha, as far as my knowledge is concerned, atra, herein, yavan, so far, nabha, sky, patanti, fly, atmasamam, as far as it can, patatrinaha, the birds, tatha, thus, samam, similarly, vishnugatim, knowledge of Vishnu, vipaschitaha, even though learned. Translation purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. Translation: O Rishis, who are as powerfully pure as the sun, I shall try to describe to you the transcendental pastimes of Vishnu as far as my knowledge is concerned. As the birds fly in the sky as far as their capacity allows, so do the learned devotees describe the Lord as far as their realization allows. Please repeat, O Rishis, who are as powerfully pure as the sun, I shall try to describe to you the transcendental pastimes of Vishnu as far as my knowledge is concerned. As the birds fly in the sky as far as their capacity allows, so do the learned devotees describe the Lord as far as their realization allows. By His localized feature, He is present in everyone's heart as the Supreme Soul, and by His unlimited disposition in describing the pastimes of the Lord as far as He has realized. Factually, only the Lord Himself and His learned devotee also can describe Him as far as the Lord gives him the power of description. दशनस्थ भक्तिवेदांत परपोटो मज्ञानतिमिरान्धस्य ज्ञानाञ्जनशलाकया चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरवे नमः। नमः ॐ विष्णुपादाय कृष्णप्रेष्ठाय भूतले श्रीमते भक्तिवेदान्तस्वामिन्निति नामिने नमस्ते सारस्वते देवे गौरवाणी प्रचारिणे निर्विशेषा शून्यवादी पाश्चात्यदेशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौरभक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्णा कृष्ण कृष्ण हरे हरे, हरे राम 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 हरे हरे। So he is addressing the audience as Aryamanaha, as powerfully pure as the sun. This is one important feature of. So, Achaksha Atmavagama Atrayavan. I shall describe pastimes of the Lord as far as my knowledge goes. He is taking a humble position. That's why aham means, Prabhupada translate this as my humble self. Aham hi prusto, asked by you. And then he says Nabaha, in the sky. You see Patatrina, birds. In the sky they fly. Can they fly all over? Can they go to any extent? No, as far as their capacity. Atma samam patanti. They can only go as far as their capacity allows them. So similarly, Vishnu Gatim, the Lord's knowledge about Vishnu, Vipaschitaha, I can only reach, I can only describe as far as my realization allows. So this is people's realization about Vishnu Gati. The knowledge of Vishnu is categorized into three. As far as based on their realization, they can understand Vishnu knowledge either as impersonal. Some people realize the only impersonal knowledge, and otherwise there is a localized knowledge. They can also realize that there is somebody helping from their hearts. So this is a great opportunity for the preachers and for the devotees to realize the Lord's presence as Paramatma in our hearts and in the hearts of the prospective donors. So when we go there and we are presenting, you should know my Lord is there in his heart also. And after all, we are working for him only. The Lord who is there in the others' hearts, for him only we are working. His temple only we are going to do. So a devotee is conscious. He is not unduly anxious that whether the collection will come or not. He knows everything is under control of the Lord. You may feel you are out of control, but Lord is under control in all circumstances. So there is a localized feature. You can appeal to the Lord who is there in the heart. You can say, I am trying my best, my Lord, but if you wish, this soul will get an opportunity to serve. And the final ultimate feature is personal feature. As we see in the deities, is Bhagavan feature. Deities are Bhagavan. So that's the highest feature of Vishnu knowledge of Vishnu. And the Bhagavan feature is specifically about enjoyment. They are the supreme enjoyers. Krishna, Radha Krishna, Balaji, Narasimha, they're all enjoyers. And we are enjoyed They enjoy our services. They enjoy our consciousness. They enjoy our love. Nicely, how He's trying to do. Lord sees all this. uh, when you like someone, you try to make nice arrangements for his comfort. We we apply ourselves with love and affection. We try to make very detailed arrangements so that that person is happy. That's the love means, a very detailed service. So we have to get into the details. Why the detailed service? Because if that person has to be happy, a person has to be happy, end to end, you have to take care of his comfort and happiness. Sometimes we make arrangements for the donors when they come for the festival. Devotees discuss so much. In fact, we define one department called hospitality. Means what? You want to take care of them end to end. End to end. From the time he comes, what will happen? You're all thinking. Right? Car parking should be available, easily accessible, and from there, here, how to walk. Every aspect we are thinking. So that is with love. That's why Krishna also says that he should be served lovingly. Bhajatam priti purvakam. Priti has to be there. That means you are applying your mind, your intelligence, and seeing to the comfort of the Supreme Person. This is Bhagavan feature. So Lord enjoys all this. He reciprocates. If somebody is with a lot of interest, with great care, he gets into the detailed execution. Lord enjoys all. And then the devotee is continuously thinking, okay, how to make it more nice, more comfortable, more perfect. This is his mood. Small things can make big changes. That everybody knows. So that's why that is about the personal feature. And then Krishna will give you intelligence. Somebody thinks, no, I should very nicely present the details about the temple, the details about the services. Very nicely I have to present. I have to give a wonderful impression about our movement, about our spiritual master, about the temple. Like that, a devotee, when he desires like that, I want to give a very good impression, nicely describe. So Prabhupada is saying he will be able to describe. Devotee can describe him means Krishna, as far as the Lord gives him the power of description. So depending on how much the Lord gives the power of description, we can describe. It doesn't matter, somebody may be able to describe little better, little more, somebody may be apparently not so much, that's okay. But the desire is there, that yes, I want to describe the Supreme Lord, the knowledge, Vishnu Gatim Vipaschitaha. So even though, but let us say, you may say, okay, if somebody is very learned, he is able to describe Krishna fully, that is mentioned here. It is not possible to describe Krishna fully. The knowledge of Vishnu is unlimited. Here it is mentioned, the supreme absolute truth is unlimited. This is an important point to understand. He is unlimited. Like sky is there, unlimited sky, go on seeing, it is spread all over. Sometimes when you travel in a flight, you can see the sky is even more extended. You can see everywhere only sky. If you go to the ocean, you will see everywhere water. After some time, you say, all over it's only water. It's like that. Sky means it is all over the space, and then the birds are flying in the sky. Patatrina, the birds are flying. But then you will see a small sparrow, it is also flying, and a vulture, that is also flying. And then Prabhupada reveals about certain birds in the universe, and they are capable of flying from one planet to another planet. They leave one planet like this, and then they land on the next planet. There are such birds like that. Gigantic, mega birds are there. So, our experience, we have seen there are many types of birds are there, Patatrina. But then how far they can fly based on their capacity. How much the capacity has been given, to that extent they can fly. But so similarly, pure devotees, they are all great personalities. But nonetheless, Vipaschitaha means they are all learned, but nonetheless, they can only describe as much as the Lord gives them the capacity. Sometimes apparently you will see some pure devotee, he is not describing so much, maybe he is Bhajananandi, he is interested in some chanting, and apparently he is not preaching. But you will see some of the pure devotees, they preach extensively, they travel, they preach. Paramahamsa, Parivrajaka Ashtottara Shata. So be here. So the Parivrajaka they preach, travel all over, they preach. So all pure devotees, they are all preachers. And they preach as far as the Lord gives them the strength and intelligence to describe. Narada Muni is the greatest preacher, and Prabhupada says you can recognize a Vaishnava by looking at how many Vaishnavas he is making. This is Vaishnava. Vaishnava means how many Vaishnavas he is making. This is one definition of Vaishnava. So you see Prabhupada, what kind of a Vaishnava? How many Vaishnavas he has made? In the Western countries, European countries, America, it is actually not easy to preach to them and then convince them about Krishna consciousness, about Sanatana Dharma. Not an ordinary task, but Prabhupada has done it. And when Prabhupada lands in America, he wrote that poem about Jaladuta. There he is he is praying to the Lord, my Lord, let my words be decorated by your mercy. My words be decorated by your mercy. So that whatever I am speaking is understandable to the audience. Now this is called realization. Realization means when you speak, it should be understandable to the audience for a particular time, place and circumstances. Should be understood. A preacher should be able to present Krishna, knowledge about Krishna, Vishnu Gati, to the audience according to time, place and circumstance. Very important. Time also has to be seen. Place has to be seen. Circumstances have to be seen. Then only we can successfully inject the knowledge of Vishnu, Krishna into their hearts. Otherwise, we'll fry them. If we don't take these three into consideration, time, place and circumstances, we'll simply fry them. Let us say in somebody's family, somebody has passed away, their near and dear ones have passed away, maybe COVID, and they're all in great pain. they're crying, they're in great pain, and then you go and then you say, this is all Maya. Asocha nanvasochastvam prajnavadamsha bhashase. You are lamenting for something for which a learned man will not lament. You are a fool. You are a fool. You are lamenting for something for which a learned person does not learn. This is the first instruction of Krishna. As soon as he assumes the role of a guru, he chastises Arjuna like this only. Asocha nanvasochastvam. So, you are correct actually. You are quoting Bhagavad Gita after all. But then, no, time, place and circumstance. Circumstance is what? They are in, deep pain. Somebody passed away. Actually, it's very, painful situation. So, time is not good to quote like that. Place. But let us say, they are in smashan. They burned the body and they're shocked. That time you can quote. Why? Place is good for Atmajnan. They get a smashan vairagya, what you call, some renunciation they'll get. Ye sab kya hai, like that. So that time you can quote. Yes. Actually we are not this body. We should not lament for this body. Whereas spirit so. See? A devotee has to carefully take into account what are the circumstances, what is the place and time. He has to time it properly. Let us say somebody is very busy, the donor is very, very busy. Yes, Swamiji, yes, thank you, I'll meet you again. No, sit down. You force him to sit down and then you are quoting this sloka, Dehino yasminada dehe, kaumaram, yavanam, chara. He will become very upset. So you should realize what is the mood and then accordingly you have to press. Now the moment you see that is very, I said, doesn't matter, I'll meet you when you are little this thing, and then maybe you can put some prasad in his hand and then say, okay, I'll come and meet you when you're free, maybe in the evening or tomorrow or something like that. Yes, Swamiji, tomorrow you come, please. And then always you have to give a choice to him. Today evening or tomorrow. Then he will choose. He'll say, okay, tomorrow. And immediately you can go tomorrow. Then he cannot say anything. So devotee has to take the circumstances, time and place into account. Actually, same donors, they will behave differently when they are in a very professional environment. Let us say some meeting is going on, donor is there, and all this, some dignitaries are there. So when you go, he may not immediately respond to you. He maintains a very secular, professional profile. But let us say he is not in the meeting room or something where everybody is not there, but let us say he is in his office, only he is there. He will be different. But let us say he is in the house. He is even more different. More receptive. In the house is more, this thing. But let us say in the house, wife is not favorable. Then he will be different. But let us say, like that, you have a preacher is calculating in terms of the time, place, and circumstance. Intelligently, we have to present the philosophy. So that's why Vipassitaha, we may be very learned in Bhagavad Gita, but then we have to present it according to this, time, place, circumstances, and to the extent that Krishna blesses us with the capacity to describe. Our realization, as for capacity means here realization. So in our case, the fortunate devotees who are in this moment, we came in touch, they will be able to describe personal features. They'll be able to describe Paramatma feature, and they'll be able to describe impersonal features. Impersonal feature description, what is there? Sometimes in one of the conversations, Prabhupada had a conversation with one visitor. So looks like that visitor is a Buddhist. He's saying, Prabhupada say, okay, what is your ultimate goal? And he's saying, we cannot describe. We cannot explain. He said, if you cannot explain, then where is your realization? If you cannot explain, when you cannot describe, that means you don't have realization. You don't have understanding. That's why you are unable to describe. He doesn't know what to say. What Prabhupada is saying is correct. If you can't describe, then how will you convince others? If you can't understand, then how do you know that you are going in a proper direction? Right? So that's why devotees, we should also, although we have everything at our disposal, Prabhupada has given all the knowledge, still we should try to get the clarity, clear understanding. That is one level of realization. One level of realization is that you get clarity. We should ensure to get clarity. And that's why, one should approach the spiritual master for questions. One should analyze the knowledge and assimilate. This is a very important principle. Then only we will be able to describe. Many times we read, but we are unable to describe what we read because we are not assimilated. The other day I was reading the pastime of Lord's appearance, Krishna book, and after 1 year, that means the Lord is 1 year old, and so they were celebrating. Nanda Maharaj, Yashoda Maya, they called the whole village, all the inhabitants of the village, Vrindavan, they came to the house of Nanda Maharaj. Now they have decorated the whole house very nicely, and there are so many types of musical instruments going on. It's a festive environment, the first birthday of the child. Nanda is the king, so obviously all the inhabitants are very happy, and they are all attached to Krishna. That is the Vrindavan's nature. And so he is all the musical. Then they invited a lot of brahmanas. They're chanting mantras, they're chanting hymns in glorification of Vishnu. The whole atmosphere is very auspicious, and that is a kind of scenario. And then Yashoda is with the child, the baby Krishna, and at some point of time Krishna is looking like he is feeling sleepy. So Yashoda keeps him in the one jula. It is actually a cart. A big huge cart is there, and many vessels and metallic vessels, brass vessel, this vessel, all those vessels are piled up. So it's a very strong cart actually, very strong cart. All those vessels and everything is there. So she places the baby in the cart, and then she goes away to receive the guests. Many guests are coming. She has to be there. She has to receive. And then Krishna sleeps for some time, and then immediately he starts crying because he was hungry. He is crying for mother's milk. But then Yashoda could not hear this crying because there's so much noise is there. Chanting is going on, musical instruments are going on. So she could not listen to the child's crying. So then Krishna he becomes little angry, and then his lotus feet touches the cart's wheel. And then Bhagavatam describes the cart wheel, the wheel which is holding that so much weight, that wheel comes off from the cart. Now the wheel has lot of spokes. All the spokes are broke. And the whole cart crashes suddenly with all the weight and everything, crashes down, making a big loud sound. The whole festival is stopped. Everybody rushes to see what happened. And they are all wondering why it has automatically crashed like this. And then the small children who are playing, they are telling Krishna has touched, so it has crashed. Now the Vrindavan inhabitants are thinking, if a baby touches, how a cart can crash like this? They are unable to. Actually, when you listen to this, sometimes it doesn't strike us. What is that Leela? It doesn't strike us. So now you have to do little bit of analysis. Little bit of time you have to spend asking questions. See, the best way to assimilate knowledge is to ask questions. Why it is so glorious? The more interesting question is, when Krishna touched lotus feet, how such a big wheel carrying so many weight and this and that, it has came out of the cart? How is this possible? Actually, we would have seen babies. 1 year baby means very small, right? And let us say that baby touches a cart like this, wooden cart. The baby feet touches the cart. What will happen? Nothing will happen. The baby will hurt because of the wooden cart. Baby will get hurt. She will cry more. See, compare it to that human baby. Now you see the phenomena that has happened when Krishna touched cart. That gives you the understanding of how Krishna is different. Krishna, of course, is different from the day one. Putana he killed already in the first year. Shakatashvara is killing now. So this is the difference. We are Brahman. Krishna is also Brahman, but he is Parabrahman. Eko Bahunam. He is Eka and Bahunam. So there are so many Vedic injunctions are there to ascertain the difference between him and us. A normal, common human baby and Krishna as a baby, we can see how big is the difference. That's why here it is mentioned, the Supreme Absolute Truth is unlimited. What is that potency? Just by touching like this, everything is. Such a strong cart is been broken into pieces. Imagine the wheel came off and in the wheel all the spokes, everything is broken. This is Krishna. Like that, when one has to Tajjoshanat, one has to apply his mind. He has to remember, he has to analyze, spend time, understand how nice the pastime is, how great the pastime is. Then only we'll be able to appreciate Krishna's pastimes. And as you start appreciating, then there is a happiness. And that happiness is also unlimited happiness. Satyanande Chitatma. Anante Yogino Anante. Ramante Yogino Anante. How is that they are able to derive such unlimited happinesses? Because they understand these pastimes. They derive pleasure. Oh, Krishna is quick like this. Happy. But for us, because we take pleasure in some mundane heroes, we don't realize the significance of the Krishna's pastimes. Actually, people take a lot of excitement in what their heroes do. Lot of excitement. If you wear something different, one new cloth or something like that, oh, all over the Twitter there is a buzz. But everything is, so much is going on. We remember this 125th Vyasapuja day. There was a, we all wanted to create a buzz about Prabhupada. There was a Twitter, handle been created. Buzz means what? Many people are commenting, many people tweets, retweets, all those things. So on that day, all the temples and devotees and congregation, they're all participating. And we're also telling big people to send tweets. In Hyderabad, we requested the culture union minister, Krishna Reddy ji. So he has sent one tweet. And so even Prime Minister has sent one tweet. That's all. The buzz has gone. And by evening, we were thinking it will reach certain numbers and all that. But by evening, we saw there is one more bus has already going on, and then this bus has come down. And we are saying, what is that bus? That is one cinema actor in Andhra, and particularly Andhra. He is into politics also. His birthday, it seems. Anna, Banna, like that, there is so many tweets. Anna's birthday today. That has gone to so many numbers. We're all trying, nothing. So people, they don't know what is greatness means. They don't know what is unlimited means. They have no idea what is great. Small things, they become very excited. And when you describe Krishna's pastime, they'll say, oh, this is all not possible. So this is the problem. So that's why devotees have to carefully present. Krishna will give you the intelligence, dadhami buddhi yogantam, and based on Krishna's blessing, one will be able to preach. Krishna Shakti Vina, without Krishna's potency, nobody will be able to spread this movement. We can see that potency in Prabhupada. He has spread this movement nicely, and we got an opportunity to become part of that, the movement. Great opportunity for us now to preach, to build this movement, and particularly building a temple which is going to preach millions of people in the future. Is such a big preaching. It is such a big preaching. It is a source of unlimited preaching in the future. So that opportunity we got. Don't think it's accidental. Whoever is here who got the opportunity to be part of this is not accidental. Some special blessing is there. Prabhupada's blessing is there, Krishna's blessing is there. So we got this project. Okay, so nicely, happily preach, depend on the Lord. Everything will happen. Any questions?
So this pure devotees when they preach here, the Rishi mentioned is telling his capacity. But as we say, Paramatma would be revealing to him.
Yeah.
To preach or to glorify the Lord. But Paramatma can
He
in
can.
unlimited way.
Yeah. For example, Prabhupada is saying here, his learned devotee also can describe him. Him means Krishna, as far as the Lord gives him the power of description. So here Prabhupada is saying factually only Lord himself can describe himself. Only Lord. But his pure devotee also can describe, but as far as he gives the Shakti. That it is. So, here in Chaitanya Charitamrita, it is mentioned in the Adilila, Antyalila, Bhujite napari aha varnite khepare. Varnite means describing. Say bujhe varne Chaitanya Shakti dena yandre. How can one describe unfathomable subject matters? Unfathomable means very deep subject matters. It is possible only if Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu gives him the capability. And then he explains whom he gave capability. In the next verse he says, and he says that what is the capability to explain about Mahaprabhu's that Antyalila, the kind of emotions that he has exhibited. Only Swarupa Goswami or Raghunath Das. E dure kadachate e leela prakash. Swarup Damodar Goswami and Raghunath Das Goswami recorded all these transcendental activities of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in their notebooks. So only these two were empowered to record, to understand, and to record the pastimes of the Lord. But there are many pure devotees are there. Not only these two, there are so many Goswamis are there, so many pure devotees are there. But these two are specifically selected, Swarup Damodar Goswami, Raghunath Das Goswami. They have recorded all these details. So each devotee will be empowered in certain ways. Somebody will be able to do some things in one direction nicely, something will be able to do in some other direction nicely. It doesn't matter. Everything is preaching. Preaching means not only the LLP preacher, not only the folk preacher, not only the school preacher. It is the cook also is preaching. Pujari is also preaching. Everybody is preaching. And if the cook doesn't cook, no preaching. Even if you want to tell also, nothing comes out. There is no Shakti. So please understand, it's a, everybody together, we're all preaching. Any result that comes, it's a teamwork. Any result is a result of the entire team. If they are all not supported, then we will not be able to produce the result. So that's why we should know that yes, of course, individual devotee also has contributed his endeavor and supported by the team. It's a teamwork, it's a team result. But an individual devotee also has given his energy, time. He thought over it, he applied his intelligence. So he gets the blessings. Prabhupada and Krishna recognizes his endeavor. But one should not think that it's all because of me only. The result is only because of me only. Then that becomes a very narrow understanding. Bhagavad Gita defines 5 factors. So at least we should recognize those 5 factors. And one more important factor that we have here is the community. There is a community, there is a big brand, there are so many things are there to help us in achieving all these things. Okay, so we have to understand and give due credit to all of them. Then we will remain humble. Here he is saying, aham hi prusta. Aham means humble self. We'll remain humble when we see the reality. Only an illusion somebody thinks is the cause of everything. Okay, so yes, Krishna, for whatever reason, one pure devotee, he may ask him to describe in a certain way. He gives the potency. Other pure devotee, some other way he does his services. So that is Krishna. That's the rasa between Krishna and the devotee. So based on the rasa and then the capacity, Krishna will bless him. For example, Madhurya rasa of the Lord. Only Gaudiya Vaishnava Acharyas they described. There are many other Acharyas who came before also, but they presented according to time, place, circumstances only something differently. Right? So although they are pure devotees, they go by Krishna's indication, they go by his Shakti and describe what is relevant for that time, place and circumstance.
Yeah, once more, like even desire of purity also would be like somebody is trying to push it on a wide range.
Yeah.
There also Krishna sanctioned to the extent.
Extent that Krishna decides. It's not because pure devotee is, for example, all our parampara acharyas, they desired that this Vishnu Bhakti, Krishna Bhakti go all over the planet. Everybody desired. Madhvacharya desired. Ramanujacharya desired. Vishnu Chitta, one of the Periyalvaris, he desired. And then Mahaprabhu, he desired. He said, yes, my name will, in fact, he forecasted his desire. My name will be heard. And the whole parampara has desired and attempted. Bhaktivinoda Thakur, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati, the very stalwart acharyas. But who did it finally to go to the Western countries, all over the world? Prabhupada has done it. But Prabhupada always gave credit to his spiritual master. He says, Swamiji, you have done something wonderful. Prabhupada says, I have not done anything wonderful. I simply believed in the words of my spiritual master. That's all. That is my qualification. Otherwise, what that I have done? I have not done anything. So like that should be the mood. Everything is done by Guru and Krishna. We got some opportunity to be part of it, part of their plan, part of their higher goal, and then we are giving our time and energy. We have some belief, we have faith on Prabhupada's words. Temple should be there, preaching should be there. That is our qualification. More faith you have, more qualification. You believe in Krishna's words, Prabhupada's words, that is the biggest qualification. Otherwise, it's unlimited, Lord. Our temple is very tiny. He has created a universe. Universe is also his abode only. His ultimate abode, Dhama, is Goloka. But this material world is also his Dhama. He is living here also. We are trying to create one more Dhama. Look at the universe and then our Dhama. Like a matchbox. Small matchbox ko banaya. That's all. But that is very big for the common person. For Krishna it is, he already has so many places to live. He is not dependent on this place. But this is important for us. And Krishna will not refuse. Okay, you want to make one more Dhama? Go ahead. So he will take you in a nice, interesting path. Each devotee will go in an interesting path. He will realize many, many things. His knowledge about Vishnu, Krishna becomes more solidified. He will see the miracles. He will become humble. Like that. It's a great opportunity for the devotees. The moment you see the Lord's hand in the results, you'll remain very humble. Then if you don't see that, then you will see yourself. And then you'll think, no, I'm just saying and then he is giving. So there is some some potency is there. So Prabhupada ki jai, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Please subscribe to our channel and press the bell icon. Never miss any updates.